What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another Beach Cliff Studios video. We have something extra special for you today. We are here at the Carousel Merry-Go-Round Museum here in Sandusky, Ohio. Not too far from Cedar Point. But the main reason that we came here today is because recently they opened a Cedar Point museum inside. Now we want to check that out, see what all they have. From what I hear, this entire place isn't that big, so I don't expect the Cedar Point Museum to be huge or anything. But maybe there'll be some cool, interesting things. So admission is $8 for regular adults. And then with that, you get one free carousel ride and entrance to the Cedar Point Museum. So that does not cost extra. But we're gonna get inside and see exactly what all this has to offer and show you guys everything there is to see. All right, as soon as you enter the lobby where you pay and get your wooden nickels, they have a bunch of already some carved out carousel animals or whatever. So they have all the information about them. And she was giving some, the woman that we bought the tickets from, she was giving a lot of information, like here, like this camel has a bird on the back of them. So said that they'll have like the years. I don't know where that is exactly. Oh, on the signs, yep. So like, so you'll see like 1911, 1928. So these are all pretty much from the early 1900s.
The camel was made by PTC.
Oh, PTC camel.
So they'll be a toboggan company, not coasters.
Yes.
Just like I've always said. Don't call it coasters.
Yeah, Philadelphia Toboggan Company. Well, I don't know, I say coasters, I think. So as soon as you enter the actual museum where the large carousel is, that again, we will get to ride later. There is the Welcome to Cedar Point, the historical Cedar Point Museum, which we will be going into later on in this video. You think we're gonna give them that right away?
Obviously not, you gotta wait.
You gotta wait for that.
Patience.
Yes, patience is a virtue, people. You guys gotta look at carousel stuff for a while. Oh, any riders? Do we want to ride right now? But he's looking for a dog, which I don't see a dog. Oh, there's a dog. There's signs that say 60-pound weight limit, but he's going on the dog. I'm going on. No, the dog has no weight limit. All right, here we are.
I'm on the dog.
He's on dog. I'm on horse. There we go. Let all your Christmases be white. Oh, it was long. It was pretty long. Oh, we're allowed to look at things in here. We're allowed down here. I don't know if we're allowed down there or not. This is like from Never Ending Story, it looks like that. Except not white, but doesn't it look like that? I mean, I don't know. Have you ever seen Never Ending Story?
I know what the thing looks like, and it looks like that.
Yeah, it looks like that. I went and rode Albano, and Milo's out here doing something. Let's see what he's doing.
I drew this.
He's a very good artiste. Look at that concentration, that skill. Very good.
You can buy this for about $250 and I'll autograph it for you.
Okay, so all you guys watching, you can buy that autographed, $250. And that will go towards hopefully our California trip. Okay, I'm getting a close-up of this one, really showing this one off because he,
There's a present.
Boop, is famous. There he is in that picture with Michelle Obama in the White House. And don't forget, we will be going over there to the Cedar Point Museum. That is the main reason why we drove an hour out to get to this place. Chicken.
And here is a sign for Idlewild, which is cool.
And so is this just the
This is Toy Town.
Toy Town? Oh, that's not Idlewild.
It's Toy Town.
I never heard of Toy Town. What, you're laughing? Should I have heard of it? All right, we won't make you guys wait any longer. We will go into the Cedar Point Museum and see exactly what you guys are probably watching this to see. Welcome to Cedar Point. There we go. We have stepped foot into Cedar Point now.
Welcome, everyone.
Hey,
this is our oldest.
We got our tour guide right here.
This is our oldest item here. It's from 1893. It's a ribbon, and in the olden days, you could see all the clothes that people would wear to Cedar Point. But when groups would come in, they would all wear for their group different ribbons, and so you can see them 1900, 1902, 1903. They would all wear their different ribbons to show what company they worked for or what group they were with.
Nice.
In 1936, all of the World War I veterans had a gathering at Cedar Point, and they all received one of those helmets. John Hildebrandt, former general manager of Cedar Point, donated that to us. Cedar Point had its own bottling company, and they didn't have recycling like we do today. And so about a month ago, they were digging for the new ride, Siren's Curse, and they actually found one of the bottles. The one here on the far left was they were digging up for a new gas line to the Cedar Point Marina, and they found that bottle. And so again, these are all bottles that were dug up at Cedar Point over the years. This is a picture of a model of the G.A. Beckling boat, and this initial pass here is from 1908, and it goes all the way up to the 1950s. And what would happen is the trains carrying people from all over the country would land in downtown Sandusky. There is a picture of the landing place with the Beckling at the dock. So the trains would unload there, and the Beckling would run people over to Cedar Point for the day. And this whole display case is former things related to the Beckling. But two of the coolest items, this was a hat worn by crew members of the Beckling. And then you can see the Beckling had several flagpoles, and the red flag up there was a flag that actually flew from the Beckling back in the day. This picture of the Grand Pavilion is somewhat rare. The Grand Pavilion is still there, but it shows the Switchback Railway, which is in front of it. And that was a 25-foot high roller coaster that basically did a down and then a U-shaped curve and back. And believe it or not, they actually put bales of hay on the ground down at the end of the U, because if you didn't hold on, this is before seatbelts, the people would go flying out. In the very olden days, they started with tickets, the courtesy tickets, and then those were replaced by the day string. So every day they would use a different color string and a different color clasp combination, and a very unique item, but cool to have those. Many people don't remember, but there was actually a monorail at Cedar Point. It ran basically where the Blue Streak is today, but a little closer to the water. The last couple years of the monorail, it actually ran underneath the Blue Streak. George Roos and Emma LaGrose started what we'll call the modern Cedar Point. We have a lot of our different stationery over the years, and you can see some of the George Roos's stationery, but also back to G.A. Beckling's stationery. And then over here is the different envelopes. You can see the envelopes and how decorative they were, but the progression over the years to the modern Cedar Point logo. A highly respected gentleman that worked there forever, recently passed away, was in charge of planning and design, named Lee Jewett. And Lee's family gave these to us. These are his business cards, which show over the decades all the different business cards of Lee Jewett. We have a lot related to the Blue Streak, but there's part of the lift chain. A lot of people wonder what brings you up that hill, and there's part of the lift chain from the Blue Streak, as well as a picture of it before it was painted blue. Of course, a lot of people have written books about Cedar Point, and so this is a collection of all the different books over the years written about Cedar Point. And one of the people that are heavily involved in our museum is Ken Miller, author of the book Rolling Through the Years. It's the coffee table size book, and as it says, the second edition is coming out the spring of this year, and it'll be available in the gift shop here at the Merry-Go-Round Museum, where we also have a lot of additional Cedar Point artifacts available for sale, things that we had duplicates of or that we couldn't use here in the museum.
Oh, okay.
Where the corkscrew is now, starting in the late 60s, was called Jungle Larry's Safari Island. And I was fortunate enough to get the telephone call for Jungle Larry's wife. He passed away, but her name is Safari Jane, and she sent up to us these embroidered shirts from the 80s. That is Safari Jane and Jungle Larry's embroidered shirts, along with a jacket that they wear. You could see some of the signage, the name tag. Jungle Larry was real popular back then because it was on television with Captain Penny, Channel 5, and there's a book that she sent up from them. Of course, the Space Spiral was a very popular ride. It gave you a phenomenal view of the whole point. This is our display of the Space Spiral with actual pieces of it from when it was torn down, an original phone from the Space Spiral. This was, again, a lot before radios, so they actually had that crank phone up in the cab of the Space Spiral and would use that to call down if there was an issue. This then is a 6-foot replica of the Space Spiral, and that again was something done by Paul, crafted by Paul. And the cab of it actually moves up and down. It's not electric, but you can move it up and down. In the 60s, we certainly had some very popular rides, the Earthquake Ride, the Giant Slide, the Pirate Ride. This was a lantern that was actually on the back of every car for the Pirate Ride. Of course, in '73, they installed the corkscrew, and one of the very unique souvenirs is the actual corkscrew. There it is. Of course, they wouldn't sell those today, but there's also a very rare corkscrew watch there. Of the face of the watch is the corkscrew. And then, of course, those were followed up by things like the Gemini and Demon Drop, Oceana. Back in 1994, they actually had an event called Christmas in the Park, where they opened up the front gift shop, and they had the carousel running. But again, with Northern Ohio winter, that was tough to do. You can see, though, that there's also winter scenes from a 1948 plate to 1954 plate. A lot of the Christmas cards sent out by Cedar Point over the years. Down here we have a Raptor wheel that was presented to a person that was head of ride maintenance for many decades, 35 years, Jack Fletcher. And then we are getting a lot of name tags. So you can see we have a lot of the name tags and things related to former general managers of Cedar Point. One of the things we are going to do is have a display of all the names of people from Greater Sandusky, of people who worked at Cedar Point for over 25 years, not just the big executives, but all the people that made the park what it is today. Of course, Cedar Point, what it is today, has been made famous by its significant rides. Here's a power tower, but also part of the Millennium Force lift cable. A lot of people wonder what it takes to bring people up. There's part of that lift cable. And then we go on to artifacts related to Millennium Force, including the inaugural rider medallion. And one of the things that makes this museum unique is that we have all the different inaugural rider medallions, and the Ace folks just love that when they come in looking at that. And then we go up to Dragster. And when Cedar Point opened Dragster, they actually had a ribbon cutting. So the base there is actually part of the ribbon that was cut on opening day for Dragster. When the Dragster cars were first introduced, they had those big tires on as well as the spoilers with the fins. And we're lucky in the museum here to have some of those fins from the original Dragster car. And Maverick opening day ribbon, a number of pieces of memorabilia from Maverick, the hats and the inaugural rider medallion, Shoot the Rapids inaugural rider medallion. And then up here is the Gatekeeper, and there they switched, instead of inaugural rider, they said First to Fly, and there is that medallion. We go over here to our Valraven inaugural rider memorabilia, and one of the things that was unique about Valraven opening day is they passed out cookies to everybody that came. And in our museum, we have a cookie from Valraven opening day. People have been able to come in and say, oh, I have that medallion. Only a couple people have come in and talked about the cookie, but both of them ate the cookie on opening day. So we still have it. So we have just transported you through time, a ride of a lifetime, through the history of Cedar Point. I hope you enjoyed the ride.
So here, if you come into the gift shop for the entire merry-go-round museum, they actually sell some stuff that they don't have room for to actually show off in the museum. Like me and Milo actually had one of those. That's from the Who Nanny that they had for the announcement of Steel Vengeance. And a lot of like older hats from the 125-year celebration. Some of the old knickknacks that they sold from years ago. So you can actually buy some of the museum whenever you come here and check it out. Well, that is it. Merry-go-round, Cedar Point Museum's full tour, gift shop. You can take home part of the museum. Highly recommend coming and checking this place out.
Downtown Sandusky, so if you're in the area, definitely go check it out because it is really cool.
So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. If you're new to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Also, a huge shout out to all our motorcycle going by, kind of loud. Huge shout out to all our channel members. All these people you see on the screen, they joined one of two tiers. That helps us out a ton. And in return, they get things like exclusive videos, shout outs, exclusive pictures, stuff like that. And they get the joy of knowing that they help us out so much.
Yeah, I know.
So that is priceless, I'm sure, to them. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. We'll see you guys next time right here on Beach Cliff Studios.